Now, I know you're concerned about government restrictions, particularly limits on the amount of fish that's consumed around the world, but especially in America. Why is that?
Yes. The Food and Drug Administration is responsible for ensuring, at least to some degree, the integrity of the food supply. In 2004, the FDA released guidance on fish consumption for pregnant and lactating women. And that guidance basically said that pregnant women should not consume more than 12 ounces of fish per week, and that for certain species of fish, a rather short list of them, that the total amount of fish should be less than 6 ounces per week. Now, interestingly, that is counter to American Heart Association guidelines for consuming 2 to 3 meals per week of what could be fatty fish like salmon or mackerel or something along those lines. And many of us in the nutrition community, particularly the DHA nutrition community or omega-3 nutrition community, believe that mom's nutrition in that gestational period when she's pregnant and afterwards during lactation is particularly important to development of the brain and the retina of the developing child, both in the fetal stage and after birth. And at the very time she ought to be taking in more DHA, the FDA is recommending less fish, which is the richest source of DHA. Now, the FDA came to those conclusions based on an analysis of methylmercury, which is an environmental concern. It's carried in fish. It appears in fish. That's a principal way that we consume it through the food supply. But they considered only methylmercury. That is almost as if you had methylmercury in drinking water or something. That's just you're getting no other benefits at all from from fish than the negative effects of methylmercury. Since 2004, quite a few studies have been published that indicate that fish consumption during pregnancy, and by implication before and after pregnancy as well, seem to have almost nothing but positive benefits for the offspring. And more fish seems to be much better. There are some cultures, Japan comes to mind, the Seychelles Islands come to mind, that consume many times more fish than the FDA advisory, and there's no evidence of harm. In fact, quite the opposite. Kids are bright and happy and live long lives and all that kind of stuff. And so now we have a number of studies that have appeared indicating this to be the case. So systematic studies. There's studies in the Seychelles, there's studies in England, there's studies in the United States that indicate that more fish is better and that the nutrient package contained in fish has overwhelmingly positive benefits compared to what are almost hypothetical negative effects that may be associated with methylmercury in fish.
And that's right. When you say the nutrient package, there's a range of other nutrients, isn't there, such as iodine, selenium?
Yes, this is a celebration of DHA, and DHA scientists are led to this naturally. However, we are not blind to the fact that fish is a terrific package of nutrients. We like to refer to lean protein and zinc, selenium, iodine, choline, taurine, sort of lots of stuff, depends on the species, of course. And so it's a wonderful package. And furthermore, one has to consider that this is not a pharmaceutical recommendation. We really, as a nutrition community, have fallen into a trap where we think of everything like a drug. And if we talk about fish as if you have some other diet that you're going to be consuming and then you consume fish on top of it, just the way you would consume a pharmaceutical on top of a base diet. That's not the way food works, even though we in principle do randomized clinical trials with things. How do you randomize someone to fish or no fish? I mean, there's just some kinds of trials you can't do at all. There's some trials you can do, like, for instance, with simple nutrients, DHA, for instance, and those trials, many of them have been done. Many trials have been done. But when you think of fish as a nutrient package, you have to talk about what would be eaten if fish were not eaten. So it's simply not adequate to say, don't eat fish. That is at best half the story. I have to say, what are you going to eat instead? And of the various other choices, the data say that fish is the most healthful choice.